Hello, this is Dan from Guitar from the Heart. And today I want to talk about a technique that requires one finger to play the guitar. One finger to play. Yes, I said that. One finger. Okay? Now, the reason I'm showing you this is because I believe it can help you to play more melodically. When you're playing with one finger, it kind of forces you to use your ears a little more than when you're just kind of like going up and down noodling, you know. And you're just spamming notes everywhere and you're not being very deliberate about what you're doing. Now there's a time and place for that, which is great. But there's also a time, I believe, if you really want to play from your heart and get your heart and soul across to the listener, that you're going to want to slow things down and you're going to want to kind of get more personal at things. Using one finger or practicing with one finger is a great way to do this. So for example, instead of just spamming notes like I did right there, let's take one finger. Let's start with the C here on the G string on the 5th fret. And let's just go up and find the notes of the major scale. So I'm going to play the first note here, which is the root. Whole step for the second note. Whole step again for the third. Half step for the 4. To get to the 5, it's a whole step. Another whole step for the 6. Another whole step for the 7. And a half step for the octave. So all together with one finger along the one string. Okay, so this is basic and rudimentary. What we're going to do is we're going to take our one finger and we're going to practice playing one note at a time, and we're going to use slides, vibrato, or whatever other techniques we can to express ourselves a little more. And we're going to go up and down just using those notes of the major scale. So I'll slide up into all of them. Back down. Okay, so you see what I did there? I went up and down the scale, and I didn't just play the notes, but I kind of tried to get as expressive and emotional and personal as I could as I played each note. Now, another thing you can do now, once you've done that, is you can kind of go up and down that scale, but move around. Don't just climb up and down, don't just ascend and descend, but let's just, using those notes, go back and forth, and as we feel, we can just play any notes that are around there. And again, try to allow our emotion to lead us into what note to play next. Alright, so I'm going to try that right now. Okay, so that was just kind of a random improvisation that I did there on the one string using the major scale. Practice this. You know, this is pretty basic stuff. It's pretty easy. If you're new, take the time to memorize where the notes are. The formula is pick any note on the thing and go a whole step, a half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half. So whole, half, whole, half. So 2 holes and a half and 3 holes and a half. And that's your formula for finding the notes. Find those notes, memorize those notes. And if you already know those notes, or if you're new and you've learned them, practice going up and down. First, just a note, and then ascending up, and then back down. Then practice doing it with a little bit of more motion, right? Okay? Then when you're comfortable with that, and you can play any number of ways with any number of emotion, so I could do the same thing and try to maybe express a little bit more intensity. Okay? By the way, on any given day, when you play, whatever mood you're in kind of lends itself to what you're playing. It's going to kind of influence how you play, how it gets across to the listener. If I'm in a really happy mood, that's going to be exuded in my playing. If I'm in an upset mood, that might come through my playing. Okay? So once you're comfortable with doing it straight, and you know where the notes are, and you're doing it straight, and you're comfortable with doing it with more expression, using slides and vibrato and that kind of thing, then you can practice staying within that range there, just trying to make up melodies. And as you do, be as expressive as you can. That's where it starts to get real fun for me. And yeah, that should help you to be more expressive as you play in general. When you're playing fast, say if you're playing through scales like a pentatonic or something. Now, you can kind of mix that in there. So right there, I mean, I missed a note, but right there, I just kind of used notes in a pentatonic, and I applied this same principle. So practice expressing yourself in your own way. We all express ourselves differently on the instrument, all right? I play a certain way, the next guy plays a different way that sounds completely different. Personally, I like to use a lot of, I express myself a lot through my vibrato, and I think it's very important, but maybe, although you might be able to play with vibrato the way I can, that's just not your thing, and you want to play just holding your string down straight without any bending on it. That's fine, but try to get across what you like and what makes you feel fulfilled as you play. Alright, so that's one way that you can use one finger to become better at expressing yourself on the guitar. By the way, you can do this with any of the fingers, as you can imagine, but try to do it with one finger and get comfortable with doing it with each finger. And I think that should help you. Once again, this is Dan from Guitar from the Heart. Have a good day and have fun with that.